Hey guys, welcome to another stream. Tonight I'm going to be working on the Routemaster again. And first things first, I need to turn down the audio from the YouTube stream. So first things first, I want to say hi to everybody who's here. Hey GB, welcome. Hey Tom, welcome. And Eric, welcome. Burn the hat. No, Eric. The hat is back just for you, Eric. So, actually, I have tea again tonight. But it's almost gone. But so we just had a 4-day weekend. Today's the last day of a 4-day weekend, and I am beat. I've built a gazebo over the last 3 days. It's not quite done. I have to do some more work on it tomorrow, but well worth it. Nice gazebo, a lot of work to it, and you know, when it's done, it's going to be permanent. Another week or so, I'm going to anchor it. Other than that, not a whole lot going on since Wednesday. Gonna have taking this Thursday off as well. We're working on selling my wife's car. We've already got all the paperwork done. That's what I was supposed to do on Thursday, but I need a day off from all this. So let me switch cameras over to the tabletop, and you can see that I now have. I went and found a screw holder. This actually was, I believe, the screw holder for R2D2, and while I was at it, you know, this is the screwdriver that came with the bus. These are a couple of the D'Agostini screwdrivers. And tonight, just in case, I did say in the description, only 2. It depends on how I feel after 2 and what time it is, because I've got issues 3 and 4 sitting here, that these are definitely going to get done. I've got 5 and 6 handy in case I decide to go further. So what 3 is the stairs, and you get the risers here, the actual steps here, and then this is the side of the stairs. Screws to attach everything. 4 is the first floor piece. Not positive what that is, but these are going to be the fronts of the stairs. This one is going to be a little bit interesting because it's going to have to be curved to match the stairs. So let me get these parts out and we'll get started. It's kind of funny too, because my wife called literally a minute and a half before the stream started to let me know that she's coming home with stuff in crates from Sam's Club, and I said, "Can you have Jordan get them?" Because she's like, "Oh, are you streaming?" I said, "No, I start in a minute and a half." So, and Eric, how's things going with the house? Eric had some issues in his basement because it's been raining there. Just out of curiosity, you get everything sorted yet, or are you on the way to getting it sorted? I hope. Okay, so it's the bottom stair. Want to say this is going to be stair number 2, stair 3, stair 4, and the treads, just like I said. So the first thing, that's the first one. Let's take this, and you can see 2 holes in there to fit the lugs. And they'll just push down on there, and then 2 screw holes on the back here. These are AP screws. Let me move this out of the way. That's not good. I just dropped a bunch of AP screws into the BM screws. Oh crap, I just just realized these are AP, not AM. So let me do some sorting here real quick. Looks like they're all the same size, which is not going to be good. That's not good. I do agree with you, though, that it's a good idea to maybe not to gut the room, but to change that window you've got into a escape window. Still not pretty. And hopefully you won't get any more serious rain like that before you get it fixed. That's not working. Trying to get this down in there to where I can actually see what screws are in there. Fortunately, there were only about 5 AM screws because these screws look identical. And I don't think there's going to be an issue if I put metal screws into plastic, but I know there's going to be a problem if I'm trying to put plastic screws into metal. I should have just dumped them out on the towel originally and just left it at that. I will tell you guys, it is warm in this room. Yeah, I can understand that. We, on the other hand, like I told you earlier today, we do staycations. That's part of the reason why we were putting that huge gazebo out there. We don't tend to go anywhere, and you know, we don't have any kids that it's going to bother if we don't go anywhere. You know, but maybe you guys can do local things. Okay. So those screws go in there like that. And then you can see here, this is where the metal pieces, the metal pieces from part 4 are going to go. Next one. Actually, let me get that. I will tell you guys, I'm a little bit shaky because my shoulder hurts really, really bad. I don't think I blew my rotator cuff like I have on my left before, but my right shoulder is just ugly right now. It's one of these things of holding your head over your shoulder, or you're holding your hands over your head for a long period of time while you're putting in screws. When I found mentioned on a couple of short videos I did how much a pain in the butt some of the pieces were. I was going around putting in screws or bolts, nuts and bolts to tighten everything down, and I discovered that one of those panels that was really being a pain in the butt wasn't in all the way. I actually had to go up into the top roof, take the mosquito netting down, and push it down into where it was supposed to be. So this is going to go on here just like that, and there's a pin here, 2 screw holes here. It's going to go in like that. And I'm just cruising along, not looking at the instructions again, which is my normal, but I actually pre-read them before starting the video. And every one of them, sorry, I'm skipping right past this. Every one of them has 2 lugs and a pin right here that line up into these 3 holes. And it actually has a lip on the front that sits down in here, or sits over there, so it looks like the real thing. Maybe not 100%, maybe it looks a little plasticky, but that's okay. I'm sure Todd, if he's here, when he did his, I haven't looked at his, I should. When he did his, I'm sure that he did a lot of modification to it. Just like he's doing on his Enterprise. And I believe he's doing modifications on his Ghostbuster car as well. And I'm lining these up so that first step, second step, third step, so keeping them in order so that I don't have to rethink about it. Exactly. Exactly, Eric. That is going to be really cool when he's able to control it with a smart speaker. But he did say he had to cut a lot of what it could do out to be able to get the code onto the Arduino. I still haven't started using Arduino at all. I am still using the LEDs that, you know, whatever LEDs I can, or occasionally flasher boards. The Enterprise is my Enterprise, which I will be working on Wednesday, starting at 5 Central, same time as today. I'll be working on, or what was I going to say? I'll be working on it, doing, not making any more windows, painting the windows, starting to put it back together. And it will, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, it's going to have the generic, the standard parts or the lighting that it came with. I'm not going to do anything fancy with an Arduino or anything like that. I'm just looking, comparing what they look like. Damn. Come out of the box. And there's a scratch on there. And it was in focus for a second, but there's a scratch on the third step. Fortunately, it's going to be up inside where you're not going to be able to see it. So now, bottom step on the, doesn't have anything other than screw holes on the bottom step. Here, I've got 3 tabs. 2 of them, 1 of them for a pin, 2 of them for screw holes, or for screws. Hey Donnie, welcome to the stream. And so you can see the pin is in there, and it actually fits in recessed, and then you get the 2 screw holes. You must have heard me say Enterprise, Donnie, that's why you showed up at this point. I was talking a little bit about what that I'm going to be doing, working on my Enterprise on Wednesday. Going to be painting the windows, getting it back together, and I'm not sure how long that process is going to be. I know it's been an odyssey redoing the windows with the resin. Not a bad odyssey, it's just taken forever. Exactly. So if you look, I can see that this is not completely straight. I'm pretty sure when I hook it to this, it'll square it up. Matter of fact, let me just take a look. Trying to figure out which part goes where. I think this goes like that. Yeah, 2 lugs on the outside here, so it'll push on here like this. So there's a pin on each of these, then the 2 screw holes. Pins will go into pinholes here, and then 2 screw holes on each step. You get 2 more screws out, and because the way that the pin or the screws and screw holes are laid out, you can't really do it any other way besides building the steps first. You can see a pin, screw hole, the screw hole lugs, and the recessed part that this tab sits down into. So hold this together again. My finger dexterity is not what it should be tonight. Wow. Can't even get a screw in. Let's try this again. So I know in the UK you guys didn't have, I don't think you had a holiday this weekend. What did everybody do on there? But here in the States we had what's known as Juneteenth. That's all I'm going to say about that holiday. I'm just curious how everybody spent their long weekend. So last one, again, the pin with the recessed part, 2 lugs for screws. There are a lot of screws on this thing. "3D printing seems like all you do." Okay, 3D printing's not bad. I'll be honest, I haven't been working on models as much as I'd like. Kind of burnt out a little bit, some. That's cool. I love how your SR-71's coming together. Like I said, kind of burnt out a little bit. Fully understand, Eric. Fully understand. But, I'm about to start working heavily on the Queen Mary. I've got the second panel for her painted, and once I cut it up and put it in place, the second dark panel for the windows, if anybody hasn't been following along, once that's put together, or the windows are darkened, then I'll put some lights in it, and it'll actually start finding some progress. Finish the salvage 1 build to get. I want one of those. Tell me how much you want for one of those. I might be willing to pay it. I loved that show when I was a kid. The concept was just really awesome. Give me just a second, guys. That's the reaction the dogs have every time when my wife comes home. They have huge separation anxiety from her. Okay, so you can see all 4 of the pins are in. One here, one up here, 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 down here by my thumb. So 8 screw holes to hold this on. Let's see if I can get, yeah, it's not going to stay. So what I'm going to do is I'll put one at the bottom, one at the top to hold it on, and then I should be able to do the rest of the screws without any problem. That one's good. Actually, just that one is holding it well enough. It's kind of funny too. Jordan was supposed to do the yard today, the front yard. That's why I didn't have him help me on the gazebo. He didn't, and now it's 90 degrees, and my wife is going to tell him it's too hot out there. I'd be out there anyway. Of course, I'm a machine when it comes to things like that. It's got to get done. It's got to get done. Okay, there's 3. Now I think I'm going to switch over to, as long as they fit in the screws. Yeah, much better. If I can get it to stay on the screwdriver. These are old enough, the magnetism might be wearing off of them a little bit. But I do have some rare earth magnets to remagnetize them if I have to. I think now Tyson, our French bulldog, is knocking at the door. Either Tyson or Murphy. So, 2, 4, 6, 8 screws. There's the stairs at this point. That is actually the end of step 3. Went together a lot faster than these did. So now, step 4. Let me see what these parts are. I kind of like the fact that they give you all the parts, or the instructions are all online, because I can actually review the instructions before I start working on the stuff, well before even before I get the parts. Okay, that's what that is. That part should go on the other side of the stairs, I think. Let me just see. It's got the kick panels. Yeah, that goes on the other side of the stairs. All right, since they're no longer barking, let me open the door so the dogs don't freak out, since they can't get in here. Yeah, it was Murphy wanting in. It's okay, babe. He can come in. Get these open. And actually, I believe that this is the last of the packs that come with yellow cardboard backing like this. Starting with 5 and 6, they come in bags. There, still got the plastic, this plastic, but it's in a bag instead. Back. These are except for the kick panels. I believe these are all plastic parts. And I believe the kick panels are actually metal. Yeah, metal photo etch. So got CP, AP, BP, and CP screws. Might need a bigger screw box. I'm probably going to need a bigger screw box. We'll see how it works out. BP screws are shiny. I believe they go on the kick panels. And the CP. I'm half tempted to anneal the parts, except for there's nothing, no painting going over top of them, so I don't want to discolor them. And for those of you that don't know what annealing is, what it is heating this photo etch so that it bends a little bit easier. Because normally your photo etch, what it wants to do is pop back to the shape it was originally in. What they say to do is put the screws in and wrap it and put the screws, or let the screws hold it down. I'm half tempted to do that. I'm half tempted to wrap it around one of the screwdrivers. I think I'll try their method first and hopefully not get any bangs. And are those not magnetic? No, the magnetism, like I said, this is dying on its magnetism. I think this screwdriver is actually from the Millennium Falcon. Start that, though that screwdriver cross point is not fitting quite as well as I'd like to into these. I don't want to scar them, so I'm going to use the little screwdriver. So I'm going to tighten these all the way down. You can see as I tighten it, it's pulling the photo etch piece to the front. So that now it's sticking not quite straight out, but it's sticking out at an angle. And so let me gently wrap this around. Those holes are almost lining up. Come on, don't cross thread. That one's not going to work. I don't want this to screw up at all because this is going to be one of those parts that is visible. Oh. It's kind of in there. See if I can get the other one started and between the two of them get it to line up. Actually, you know what? Betcha. If I do this one down here, because it is pretty well lined up. At least it looked like it. Nice. That other one popped loose. So let me loosen these just a hair, so that maybe I can shift it a little bit. Let's see how magnetic this one is. Yay, not at all. Shit. I'll find it later. I just dropped one of the silver screws onto the floor. I think that one's actually started in. The rest of these won't be near as difficult because I'm not trying to bend the metal. Okay, that one's in there. Maybe a little, well, the other stairs won't be as bad. Let me back these off a hair. Wow. So without looking at it, there's actually a rounded edge here, a squared off edge. I managed to put the rounded edge on the right side. See if I can get these to start. Give me a second, guys. Let me know if that air conditioner is too loud to where you can't hear me, because it is sweltering in here. It is terrible. You know, in World of Wayne made this look so easy. That's got that one started. So this one will go in as well. better. It's kind of funny, I've been doing the exact same things I am here, which is using screws to pry things into the position all weekend with that gazebo. I've watched some videos and people say that the holes on the gazebo do not line up. I can attest to that. But once they're in there, they're pretty solid. Okay, there we go. Let's see if I can do it with this. Nope, not that one. That's better. The cross point on that was too long or too big to fit in these screws. Retighten these. And there is the bottom step. The rest of them should be really pretty easy to do. Yeah, and like I said, if you look at the focus, you can see on the top, rounded edge here, squared off edge. Same on the other side. Rounded edge goes to the top, squared off edge goes to the bottom, and these screw holes line up perfect. So let me do them cross corner. That's what I was afraid of. That one that's closest to the riser is a little bit more difficult to get in because you can't actually get onto it at all. Not the riser, the sidewall. So that's got that one started. This one that I was trying to do before started. Interesting. Didn't realize that on the bottom, these actually stick out a little bit. So let me get 4 more of these out. Exactly 4. You see, that's the thing about the plastic screws, is while you're putting the plastic screws in, they're actually cutting the threads. That's why you don't over torque them, because you'll just rip the threads out, and then this screw will probably stay, but it could work its way out without unscrewing over time. Let me get all 3 of these started. Just making sure these other two are tight. Kicking out on the second set of steps went on a lot better, a lot easier. I mean, I know it's blowing the camera out, but I like the way that looks. Same thing, rounded, but sitting in the box, the rounded edge was on the bottom instead of the top. Something you got to watch for when you're doing this stuff. Make sure you get it the right way around. Don't lose any of these screws. Already lost one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got one extra. Thanks, Tom. I think it looks really good. I've seen pictures with this actually in the model. It makes the stairs look really sharp. There's actually a lot to the stairs. And I'm going to get all of these started before I tighten any of them down. And those inner corners are still the hardest ones to do. I just realized they're going to get even worse. I might actually end up taking the side panel off, because here I'm going to be trying to put the screws in at a really bad angle. Let's see, just because. Oh man. So that's why Todd's not with us. He is actually working right now. He got called into work. That one's going to go in. I'm really not thinking those top ones are going to go on. For those of you who don't know his first name, Todd is Marvel PHX, or Phoenix. I believe he is an IT guy, which is why he does all the Arduino stuff. That's actually better. It was climbing past 79 before I turned the air conditioner back on. It's now back down to 78 and dropping. That's part of the problem with this room, because I have 9 windows, including 2 glass doors. So this room heats up pretty well. So that's the third one. And you can see the fourth one. I'm gonna give it a shot, but I don't think that fourth one is gonna work out well trying to do it with this side piece on. I'll see what happens. one more. Because of that, I'm going to try the end piece first, the one that's closest to the wall. Round part is on the top. If I can get these two inner ones in, I don't have to take it off. That ain't gonna work. That is absolutely not gonna work. So let me get this one, see if I can get this one started. No. Didn't realize that screw was still on there. Don't like to do this because plastic screws, like I said, you can strip out your threads pretty easily. So far, only the first screw has come completely out. There was the second one. It's 3. Some of them are staying with the part. They're staying in the plastic. I don't want that because I don't want to inadvertently lose them. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. They're also a little down from where they should be. Come on. That one started. Get this one started. It almost looks like it's too sharp of an angle on that screw, but I think it's good. The bottom ones are going to be the worst because they're actually pushing the tread down a little bit. That one actually went in really easy. As did that one. 2 more and I can tighten everything up and put it back together. Come on, go in there straight. Come on. one's not trying not to go in. Try it with this screwdriver. Like a glove. Beautiful. Tighten these down first. Hopefully not bending that plate as I do it. Beautiful. So that's got the kick panels, and you can see right there a little bit of warpage, which actually, looking straight on, I don't see it. It's just because of the way the light hits it in the camera, and all of them actually have that, except for the bottom step. So now, start putting these back on. I'm gonna snug them, but not as snug as they were, because I don't want to strip out those threads. Right now I'm just getting them started. I actually have this bus as a Revell kit as well, a 1/24. Still kicking around the idea of starting building it to match up with this one. If I get further on the Queen Mary, I can do that, clear some of the space off on the desk. Some people are not near as enthused about the bus as I am. I think it is a cool, very cool bus. Actually, based on how long these two packs have taken, we will probably do packs 5 and 6 tonight. Need to clear more space for the Enterprise will fly in on Wednesday. You know that, Donnie. I could really screw with you and work on the Voyager instead. You know, that buddy build that you, Eric, and I were in, and you finished. You finished. I believe Eric was going to Borgonate his Voyager, but I think he got rid of it. There. Those are all back in. Stairs look sharp. Now let me catch my instructions up to where I'm at. So there's 3 lugs here. They go on the inside. There's a tab here with a slot. Tab with another tab sticking out. These 2 tabs, and then these tabs here. All of this lines up on this side. Right there is where that slot goes in, and then let's see, there's only 2 screws go in at this point. One at the very top here and one right here. So it's going to go in. It's going to go in. Is it not? Okay, yeah, that hole's opening is supposed to be there. That's why. Does that slide in there? Yes, it does. So I didn't see that this here tab is a tab as well, and it's got to fit into this groove right here. Let me make sure. Working from below, fit 2 AP screws to the flanges. Okay, so let me get my 2 AP screws. No, Sci-Fi bus is not done yet. Yeah, I'm a little behind on the Queen Mary, but ships tend to end up, for me at least, they end up sitting for a while, and then suddenly there's a flurry of work on them. This is gonna be a little bit tricky. Ah, the Voyager, yeah. That one too. I kind of got stuck on the Voyager when I was working in the cells. That one's started, and this looks good from the outside, but I still got to get the screw. Okay, that's better. The screw is in the hole. It's started, and let me tighten it down. Looks right, but it doesn't. I actually think that this whole side will get covered up, but I don't like this gap down here. And this tab actually did not fit down into there. But the screws are in where they're supposed to be. It'd be nice if it was a little bit tighter. I can push it a little bit tighter. Hopefully something will pull it in tighter. Yeah, went out and bought that kit for the buddy build, and then Eric and I didn't make it. I actually have, I think, 2 more Voyagers in my stash. So let me see, that's 5 CP screws. I will finish it eventually, though, Donnie. But I'm with models. You've seen me. I'm kind of like squirrel. The only ones that I continually work on and don't get sidetracked are the part works. Okay, so this hole that goes in the back, and you can see several holes that line up with the screw or tab or lugs on the bottom here. Alright, so these 2 lugs line up with the bottom with the stairs. Same with this one, and then these 2 line up with these 2 here for the 5 screws. And then this is the actual step area as you get onto the bus. Shoo! What's up? Welcome to the stream. So let me see if I can do this one-handed. Get the screw on here. Looking. So on the bottom, it doesn't really denote that these are the screw holes. You just kind of have to know that. You did or you didn't see the notification? Screwmaster. Yes, I am the master at screwing things up. So shoot, especially because I have several folks from the UK that watch, I have moved my streams up from 6 to 5. I get off work at 3:30. By, you know, since I'm working from home, setting up by 5 is really easy. And that way, not only can the guys on the in the UK catch the streams, but they can also, or I can also get a little bit more of the evening. And I know that they're, well, not as much now, but on Wednesday there is a conflict with another channel, but it is what it is. Okay, tighten these down. That one was not even started into the bottom of the stairs. And I'm watching as I'm tightening it, the gap right here underneath. Let me see there. You'll be able to see it maybe on this next one as the gap tightens up a little bit. I know you're awake, Eric. You might not have been for 15 or 20 minutes. You didn't say a thing when we were talking about the Voyager group build that two of us never, or buddy build that two of us never managed to finish. Okay, so there's the stairs. There's seen some videos. There's a lot of stuff that goes on these stairs. Let me set that over here. Yes, we will. And we won't even borgonate the Queen Mary. So here's what I was talking about earlier, guys. That they've now, you know, starting in this pack, in pack 5, they get away from the carded ones. They now are in a bag, which is what is normal. I think originally Hachette or another company released it, and it was attached to the magazines, and that's why they were carded like that. Let's see. I'm just going through. There are some pictures of the Routemaster, and another fine screwdriver. Yes, indeed. And I'm looking at the picture that's in the magazine. These screws, you know, they're large compared to what they should be, but there's actually, looks like 5 screws across, and they wouldn't be able to make screws. Figure they give out. Well, no, actually, I looked at it. I think this one is a different size than this one. For the giving out, the screwdrivers giving out. But like I said, these would be, there'd be two more on here and they'd be minuscule compared to what they are there. I don't think you'd be able to actually get them that small. And this is the start of the suspension. EM and FM. I think those screws are a lot larger. Oh yeah. That's why they give you a second screwdriver. Compare the sizes of the screwdrivers. This one's the first one, this one's the second one. They're not the best of screwdrivers. I will freely admit that, but they do the job. So let me put my labels into the screw box. I have a feeling that this screw box is not going to be near big enough. Although I could be wrong, because the I think it was the R2D2 that had the screws that this screw box came from. Blue light special, absolutely. Kmart. But they haven't been bad enough yet to make me break these out tonight. They are sitting right here. FM, every time I see FM, I'm kind of partial to it because that's my office symbol at work. FM for me means financial management. You must not be that away, Garrick. Shoe's been here a while. First part, and this is metal. First part of the suspension is right here, and it, like I said, metal. I believe all of these parts are metal. Move these over here. These look identical. Let me double check. Okay, 5B, they are exactly the same. There's 4 of them. Two EM screws each. What you've got here is you've got 3 pins and 2 screw holes. The pins, only one of the pin, oh actually they're not pins, there's a pin and 2 tabs. The pins go on here, like so, and then the other holes are the screw holes. Just a second. Turn the oven to 425, half hour before I come up. Okay. So about 20 minutes from now, I got to turn the oven down. Yes, it's the red Enterprise panel. And these are actually, what this is this is the new warp nacelle arms. warp nacelles actually mount right here. A little bit smoother transition instead of going straight up like they do on the D. So all 4 of those are started. I believe this was a bigger screw. Yep. That's why it didn't work with those smaller screws. Very strange, but you've seen Spaceballs. Lone Star's spaceship was pretty odd looking too. Or I hope you've seen Spaceballs. Only person I know that hasn't seen most movies is Eric. Although my wife and I, it came on and so we watched it. Eric should have seen the movie we watched today. That Winnebago is really cool. We watched Chitty Chitty Bang Bang today. So next parts that go on are these right here. And let's just look and see what they are. I know there's some sort of part of the 5G is trailing axle link, and then 5F is, which we'll get to later, is trailing link spacer. Make sure I got the right one. Okay, yeah, 5G. I do too. I really, really want a model of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. It was kind of funny because it popped up, you know, when I went upstairs, it popped up and I was like, huh, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. My wife restarted it from the beginning. I'm like, okay, I guess we're watching it. Yes, Galaxy Quest. Someday we'll get Eric to watch it, or maybe not. I mean, Dirk already tried. Dirk sent him a copy of it. Yeah? Very true. And I think, according to Bud, if he ever gets his stash back, he has a Chitty Chitty Bang Bang in it. I've looked, I've seen them occasionally, but I'm not willing to pay $400 for that model. I might just find one of the old Tommy ones and redo it, because it really has some, you know, sentimental value for me, because not only do I love the movie, but I had a Chitty Chitty Bang Bang car, and I don't know what brand it was, but it had the little raft, it had the wings that came out. Did not have the helicopter blades on it, but it had all the stuff from the movie, and I was like, that is just so cool. And watching it today, having watched so many movies throughout my lifetime, I sat there and I was like, I marveled at the things that they did with all the practical effects. Corgi, I think I may have had that one. Yeah, the model was late 60s, early 70s. And I want to say that it's an AMT kit. But like I was saying, the practical effects on Chitty Chitty Bang Bang are amazing. Never noticed until today that when the car turns into a boat and the raft comes out, the wheels are actually spinning. Yeah, and you know, Corgi Chitty Buck. And I was talking to Andrea while we were watching the movie a little bit, and I told her point blank, I miss those kinds of movies. I really do. They made those movies in the 60s. I was thinking it would be really cool to see those magnificent men in their flying machine again. Oh, the tires? I did not catch that the tires were spinning when it's in the air. Oh, they had one at Wonderfest. I wonder how much he paid for that thing. Okay. Trying to figure out. Okay, this one is what goes on there. It was on TV today. We watched it, well, we actually, when it came on, like I said, my wife rewound it. So this flange, right here, it points out, oh, you know what? Would help if was putting it on right. It goes on like that. An EM screw goes in here. Yes, The Great Race. All those movies of that time, I tend to watch them. If I see them on, I will drop whatever I'm doing and watch them, because I love those movies. Oh, I didn't even catch that. There's actually a flat spot on those, and so that flat spot, we'll tie these together once they're both on here. Tighten this down. It's not quite tight enough yet. Of course you do, Eric. It doesn't feel like it's tight enough, but I don't want to break it either. Just check. Oops, wrong side. Okay, that should work. Ah, but before that can go on, yeah, that's what I'm saying, is I see them for really expensive and I'm like, I'm not going to spend that kind of money for that. I may be crazy, but I'm not insane. That one worked a lot better. I'm very concerned on this other one though. Let me... It is, but the part works are a lot bigger than a 1/24th scale model. There's a lot more to them. I'm going to try a different screw in there. And if this doesn't tighten up the way I want it to, it should be okay, because these parts are going to be attached to each other too. That actually feels like it's going better. Yeah, that's much better. And so these rotate together. There's a little bit of... Now this one's got play. I'm gonna have to hope that it firms up when the other parts go in. Let me set this over here for right now. Whoops. Oh, damn. This, not too big a deal. It's supposed to be in there, and it does fit in there. Okay. That gets locked in there by 2 FM screws. Size doesn't matter. The big sea view? I have the big sea view. If you're talking the 1/128th scale. I have to go to Wonderfest next year, and Eric needs to come too. Wow. Cool. $300 for the 1/28 scale sea view? That's insane. I have 2 of them. Sorry. Pick him up and tell Karina that we might bring him back someday. She will probably be like, do you have to? Cool. I just looked and realized that this detail here really tells you you're not keeping him? We'll keep him in the basement. I don't have a basement, but we'll keep him there anyway. Somebody picked up the Sea View for $300. That's insane. The problem is you have people like me who hoard, I don't hoard models. No, not really. GB hoards models. Yeah, well, and things worked out to where I had just gone out of town on a business trip, which was a waste of time. Matter of fact, that same business trip happened, or the same thing that we did during that trip happens the same time every year. And I told my boss it's ridiculous to drive or to go from Scott Air Force Base down to Tinker for this trip, for this meeting, when we ended up, because two people down there ended up exposed to COVID. So everything was electronic anyway. I came home a day early. Or not electronic, but digital. It was e-meetings. We'll figure it out this next year, Eric. Things went on this year to where it wouldn't have worked out anyway. So next year yes, you can liberate my starch, but leave my stash alone. That one actually went together a little bit better, except for the fact that it is not all the way together here. So this other arm goes on here like so. Okay, I was concerned there for a second that they didn't give me a spare, and I was going to be like, wait, there's supposed to be a spare. I'm not down for that. I'm going to lock that room. And worse than that, you don't have me so much to contend with as you have my wife. She likes my stash. She's happy it isn't growing as much as it was. Okay. I'm pretty sure. Is that all the further it's supposed to move? Oh, yeah, duh. I was trying to move it further in and it wouldn't. I was. But instead, you went and visited family. I think it wasn't Oklahoma. What was it? Was it in Missouri? I don't know. I don't remember. Okay, I will be back in a second, guys. My wife, like I said, my wife said to turn the oven to 425 a half hour before I'm done. That's about now. I will be right back, guys. Okay, oven is on. Apparently my dinner is in there. Hey, I still have tea. Wow, I step away and people drop like flies. Not the last time, but when we moved over here from California, I got a speeding ticket in Missouri. The guy literally told me that they were out in force because it was the end of the month and they had been told to write tickets as much as possible. was only doing 85. Okay, so pack 6. Oh, at the end of the month they have to make their quota. I mean, that literally was what they were doing, was just trying to make their quota for tickets for the month. So let me see. Trailing link mount, upper trailing link, shock absorber fixture, shock absorber spring, suspension on cover, and then screws. It does kind of make a killing at Wonderfest. You could probably make a pretty good killing at Wonderfest with my stash, but I'm not willing to part with it. And I don't think they have goof root at Wonderfest. So some GM screws. More EM. Guys trying to steal my stash again. But I know how to protect my stash. I'll just lie to Donnie and tell him that when I'm done with the Enterprise, he can have it. Then he'll guard my stash. I don't think Donnie was paying attention. Well, I heard the going rate for the Seaview is $300, Eric. I don't think you got that. What did I say out loud, Donnie? What did I say? What? Okay, so 3 GMs. Go on here to protect, to, oh man, plastic. Three GM go to hold the bottom of the suspension on. I actually need to build a Seaview eventually. I did build my flying sub years ago. Really enjoyed that model. Really? It's not driving the screw. Milk and cookies? What do I look like? Santa? Don't answer that. Anyway, you guys keep talking about I have a bald spot. Santa doesn't have a bald spot, I don't think. And Santa would have elves build his gazebo. He wouldn't be out there doing it himself. Okay. So that's on there. 2 HMs on each side. So let me get those out. And then these puppies, okay, so there's a pin on the bottom here, and these are plastic as well. Ah, that makes sense. There's a pin on the bottom of each of these. Screw holes are right there. They fit onto here, where this is the hole for the pin and the 2 screw holes. Milk and cookies are good. Matter of fact, first time in a while I bought some cookies. They were mint, chocolate mint. My wife we both said those sound so good. She tried them and she's like, nope, not for me. And I'm like, cool. I will tell you, there are some loser kits in there as well. A few. Something I need to do sometime soon. Maybe not soon, but sometime. I need to do the 3-pack of kits I got for the hunt for Red October. I've got the Red October, and I think the Dallas, and then I think the Enterprise. I mean, like 1/1500 scale, really small. I don't think I'm going to part with this Sea-View. Maybe. Well, see, now that you said you'll give me 50 for it, Donnie or Shu can come back with more. The Red October is very undetailed. It's just a really small kit. See? Told you, Eric. Okay, so the springs go in here like that. I can make a lot of money on a stream. So 2 more EM screws. $101. These are, yeah, these are identical. Yeah, Johnny beat you, Eric. 120. So this part goes towards the inner part, and that has got to come out here, the shaft. I'll bet like the price is right. You're gonna bet $1? Where do those 2 screws go? Those 2 screws go into those. Okay. So we got the spring. These are actually screw holes. There are 4 screw holes here. Right now it only says to put those 2 in there. And that's going to be a lot of pressure to get that in there. Damn. My gut feel is that if I don't get both of these in before I let off the tension, yeah, maybe. 122. I'm waiting for the 128.5. I know somebody's going to do some odd bid like that. I was playing years and years ago with my ex-wife and her parents. We were playing Pinochle. I jumped up the bid to it was like 227 and a half. And they said, go ahead. And I went set for 227 and a half. Come on. So now if I can see if I can get this to go back in. Other spring fell out. See if I can get this to go back in here where it's supposed to be. I am rich now. But wait, Eric, is this going to be like $50 a month for the rest of my life? Or did you suddenly hit the lottery? I know. Okay. So you can see the two screws there. Actually crank that down. These, you can see the pressure from the spring. And this actually pushes through on the other side the way it's supposed to. So now what does it say? Oh, now it says to put the other two screws in there. And then to do the same thing on the other side. By the way, Eric, is that $1 million coming to me in, actually, let's see. Oh. Is that $1 billion coming in check or a money order? Oh, that's right. That's right. Shu's gonna send me $1,000,000,001 because he bid $1 more than anybody else. Gotta be careful, Shu. Eric's a little bit rascally. Okay. Yeah, right. Now this is cash on delivery, or COD, cash on delivery, or before delivery, actually. So let me do the same thing over here. Get 4 EMs out. These holes lined up. One to hold it. Yes, CBD. Yes, I understand. CBD is, wait a minute. That's not what we want. But that's illegal here, or that's legal here. Pop this back in where it's supposed to be this time before tightening these down. There's one thing about these models, they actually have working shocks. $1 a month. I will send you 1 sliver of plastic a month. Eventually you'll have all the slivers and then you can glue them back together into model parts. That's tight. That's tight. And there is some serious pressure on these because of the springs. Got that one tight. And last screw. So, you can see you got the springs in there. Both of them are where they're supposed to be. I got 2 more parts to put on right here. Well, that's interesting. This one is correct. There's a hole there. This one has little tabs. So it's supposed to sit on here like this. This one, let me see. I know I've got a pair of needles pliers from somewhere. Actually use some diagonal cutters to cut those off if I can get to it. Nope, that's not going to work. I have a bit in the drill. But the drill is dead. Ah. Maybe the cutoff wheel? Problem is, this is not charged. Let me see. I have so many drill bits. Looking for my drawer that says everything drill. Yep, I understand what you're saying. So that I should be able to use this. It's not dead. It's just running out of juice. One. Ow. That's actually almost entertaining. Try this again, see if I can. Let me see a file to get this last burr off. Use the Dremel for that. Same thing over here. Perfect. It looks a little bit chewed up, but it's not bad. And that's going to be inside where you're not going to be able to see it anyway. So now this sits on here like this. Hopefully it will go over top of there. Yep. And I can understand what you're saying, Eric. I just haven't bothered to charge that in a while. So 4 GM screws on each side. 5, 4 and 4. Okay. So I'm going to start with this one that I had to fix first and find out if the screws are even going to fit through. And I'm going to over crank it to kind of peel that burr out of there. Almost, but not quite good enough. Because now I can't get the screw out either. that's not a round file, but just triangular one. Wasn't expecting to need a round file. This one's gonna have to do. Come on. It's almost out. Ah, okay, got it out. Do the same thing over here. Bring that out just a little bit. Just a little bit more. There we go. There's a round file. In a perfect world, I would get this to where the screw will just fall through. Not quite yet. Oh, actually, that's good. That one just kind of pushed through. And that one did too. So now, back them out. I can only put one in at a time because they're right at that point where if I touch them, they fall through. Okay, there's that one started. That fall off of there. Get this one started. That one's on there. Let me get these two on. The holes on this other side are painted over a little bit. Okay. Yeah. There's an inset spot on one of the screws. Let me get this down. That screw is inset, and I looked over to make sure that the I've got it on the right side. And it does what it's supposed to. So let me do the same on this other side. Start with this one. And that is the first time I've actually had to modify a part because it wasn't completely milled. Let's see, this one work. Get a little bit more torque on that. No. I think we talked about this before, guys. I just did something that most people wouldn't do, which is start cutting on a $1,600 model. But since the Enterprise, I think more people will modify these models than used to. Like absolutely living on the edge. Of course, if that hadn't worked, I'd have contacted Agora and they'd have sent me the parts. They'd have sent me a entirely new pack, but they'd have sent me the parts. They're really good about that. And that one's working too. So so these little guys are caps to hide the screws. They push in. I don't want them coming back out. At the same time, they're plastic. I don't want to mar them. Almost done, so I can turn that noisemaker off. I don't turn on the portable air conditioner in here unless I'm in here and it's too hot, because I sat down and figured out how much it would cost to run a month, and I'm like, I really don't want to spend that much to cool just this one room. And last one going on right now. Okay, so that's the suspension. These are the caps I just put on. Like I said, both sides work, and it tells you how much this bus is really going to weigh, because like on the other models, the suspension really works. That's the problem, Eric. There's actually 3 vents in this room, but this room has, let's see, yeah, 4 out of 6 sides face the outside. Okay. So that's all I'm going to do tonight, guys. I actually did 4 packs. I'm kind of happy with that. So here's where we're at so far. Got the front of the bus with the headlights and the screen. 1 fender. Got the hood. This part that pops open here to check the oil or something like that. Stairs start to finish tonight. And the first part of the suspension start to finish tonight. Yep, it's getting there slowly but surely. That was actually step 6 out of book 1. So probably next week we'll do 7 through 10 and finish the first book. I'm liking this model. I really like it. Even with these little hokey screwdrivers they give you, it's well worth it. To me, it's well worth it. I know some people, they're like, you're crazy. So hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope, I have a lot of fun doing this, and I hope you guys are enjoying watching it. Like and subscribe if you're new. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Like, leave questions. I answer everybody's. Whenever everybody makes comments or questions, I answer every one of them. Thanks, Eric. So I will talk to you guys later, and we will see you on Wednesday. Have a great one and take care of each other out there.